Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim and thank you, Cimnanya. And thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. Today, we'll be talking something very important and it's about a video that I came across and I thought, I am definitely bringing this here because this is really a very important discussion. A lot of people do not want to hear. And when you talk about it, they are going to say that you have victim mentality, right? So this white man is married to a black woman and he actually came out to speak on how frustrating it is for him to watch the wife, a black woman, work so hard and not get the same equal pay as her white counterpart. Yeah, counterpart. That it is very frustrating that the wife is very hard working and her level, top notch level, but she has to work extremely so hard. This is nothing new. A lot of people have already, talked on this, and I have already brought this here on how a lot of people, especially I have known black men who were able to train so many people. I mean, their counterpart in the office, probably after training them. You can imagine training somebody and watching the person being promoted to a next level and you are still in the same position or training them and they are getting higher salary than you that trained them. Let's get into this.
All right, I was on a run and needed a little walk break, so I thought I'd share a little something that I've learned since being married to Danny. Here it is. Black folks don't actually have to work twice as hard as white folks to get to the same place in life. Let me explain. See, when I started dating Danny, I actually had no real clue just how different the world treated white folks and black folks. And so when I would hear my black friends say that they had to work twice as hard as white folks to get to the same place in work or in life, it used to frustrate me. Honestly, it hurt my feelings, made me feel bad. Like they thought that I didn't work hard. But the reality was that I have a predictable equation for the amount of work I put in and the results that I can expect. I put in X amount of work and I can expect to get Y results. And so when I would hear that black folks' equation, or they thought their equation was 2X equals Y, it didn't make sense to me. But now after being married to Danny for 24 years, having a front row seat for the past 26 years to her life, to see her experiences in the workplace and friendships and relationships, I actually think the equation is even different than 2X. I actually think if the equation was just 2X equals Y, if black folks only had to put in twice as much work to get the same results as white folks, just about every one of my black friends and family would take that deal, as unfair as it seems. The black folks I know would all be willing and have been willing to put in twice the work. The reality is that the equation, I think, is something more like X equals Y, meaning that there is just a huge unknown variable in the equation at all times. My black friends and family have no idea, or they honestly do have some idea, as to the amount of racism, bias, prejudice they're going to face in any situation in life. And the workplace is a great example. My wife has been passed up for job opportunities, for promotions, many times when she's twice as qualified and works 3 times harder than her white counterparts, but is passed up for opportunities. I've seen her get up time and time again and continue to put in tireless effort that goes thankless, goes without being appreciated in the workplace, gives where other folks get the credit for the work she's done. And so I've watched her get up and continue on time and time again, despite this unknown in the equation, the X equals Y. And what I've learned is she has had to develop and have a strength that I've never had to have and never will need to have. And honestly, it's inspiring, but it's heartbreaking to sit by and watch the person you love more than anything in the world have to face this type of bias and discrimination in life. And so honestly, if 2X equals Y were the equation, I think just about every black friend and family member I have would sign up for that raw deal. And the fact that the equation is question mark x equals y, should wreck all of our hearts.
Look, man, I get the whole reparations thing can be confusing and controversial, but dismissing it with racist stereotypes and ignorant comments doesn't help anyone. The struggles in places like Detroit aren't because black people are their own enemy. That's an ugly, dehumanizing way to talk about an entire group of people. The real roots go way deeper. Redlining, white flight, losing industries and jobs, decades of policies that cut off investment and opportunity. I know Democrats have been talking about reparations for a while without much action, but that doesn't mean the idea itself doesn't have merit. We're talking about compensating for centuries of forced, unpaid labor that built incredible wealth in this country. Wealth that black folks were locked out of benefiting from. It's not a handout. It's paying a debt. Instead of just writing it off with dismissive comments, maybe take a step back and really try to understand the perspective of black Americans who have faced generations of oppression and disadvantages. Their struggles and the case for reparations can't be boiled down to some racist myth. I'm not trying to attack you, man, but comments like that, even if unintentional, just perpetuate more division and misunderstanding around a really important issue deserving of real discussion and solutions. Just some food for thought. Vote Chase Lincoln Looper for West Virginia Governor, November 5th, 2024. I feel you on the struggles of the white working class. They've been getting the short end of the stick for a long damn time. Wages have been stagnant. Jobs have been shipped overseas, and the rich elite could not care less about their well-being. That shit's real, and their anger is justified. But here's the thing. Even with all the hardship, they still benefit from certain advantages that come with being white in this country. It's not an either-or situation, my friend. From not having to worry about getting profiled by the cops to having an easier time getting hired or approved for loans, there are subtle and not so subtle perks that come with being a part of the majority race. That's not to diminish the very real struggles of poor white folks, but it's an uncomfortable truth that we need to confront. And let's not forget the systemic oppression that communities of color have faced for generations. From redlining to mass incarceration, from underfunded schools to environmental racism, the deck has been stacked against them in ways that white working class simply doesn't have to deal with. So instead of pitting the white working class against people of color, how about we acknowledge that they're both getting screwed by the same rigged system? The real enemy is not each other. It's the wealthy elite who have been dividing and conquering for far too long. It's time to wake up and smell the injustice and fight for a society that works for all of us, regardless of race or class. Because at the end of the day, we're all in this together, whether we like it or not. Vote Chase Lincoln Looper for governor of West Virginia on November 5th, 2024.
Hey, good morning. My friend the History Guy 23 mentioned me in a video recently. After watching it, I noticed he tackled the history of whiteness, which is a topic I've got coming up. But the comments in this video got me weak. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Baseman presents Tiger Man 2315. When asked about who created whiteness, Tiger Man 2315 responds, well, the root question is, why were black race ever made slaves? Answer is, they never developed as a civilization in Africa. You literally have a historian making videos to explain it to you, and you're still wrong. Well, sitting in front of a bunch of books does not make you a historian or right. Subway wants you to come in early. But my degrees do, and the evidence makes me right. Please learn more and mature more before commenting. Your anti-intellectualism is staggering. You been to Africa? Democrat? Oh, God. You need to go back to why others took African slaves before the Catholic Church prior to 500 AD. Oh, Lord. Not a Democrat. Your comments are both irrelevant and wildly misleading. A smarter person would know that I'm talking about transatlantic slavery. It was unique in so many ways. Well, you might want to get you some college textbooks behind you instead of some random junk if you want to be a historian. You know, scholars' books. No, silly goose. Who says silly goose? Historians write textbooks. They don't generally read them to learn. They read books by other historians, as you see behind me. So please become less racist, a better person, more mature, and better educated prior to commenting on anything serious. Your books reveal you. You look at my library and you see the difference. The very thing you are using as a prop behind you gives you away, fool. I suspect it is inappropriate to call your collection of books a library. You're so silly. Hey, I thought I told you to get better at so many things prior to commenting again. No, you again. Like you not commenting on his video. You again. Come on over. You can use my books I have collected over the last 40 years. Maybe find one from when I visit Africa. No thanks, boomer.
So this is all I got from this video, and we all have really heard about Black people having to work so hard and not being paid the same amount as their white counterparts, which sometimes is very frustrating. And this is not the first time I have heard that. This is not the second or third time. I also have done videos on that, especially people that have experienced that. And also, I remember when Taraj also had an experience in her own industry that made her come out. I remember there was a time Oprah and all that, how hard she works and how she is not getting anything from her, she's not she's not getting what she is supposed to be getting. And I am asking that why is that? The truth is that a lot of people have refused to acknowledge this. This is something that most times when I talk about this with people, it's either we end up arguing and not even understanding probably I know what I am arguing. I know this is something that it's happening, and I know a lot of people have been affected and all that, because who would not be affected seeing yourself work so hard and not getting any promotion or not getting anything out of it? What you are supposed to be paid, because there is nothing as beautiful as getting equal pay for your labor. Yes. So I have seen a lot of people, especially Black people in organizations, training people. You know what it means to train people? It means you are actually very qualified to train them. And then you watch the people you train get higher positions than you do, and at the same time get higher pay. People you personally train. How would you feel? I absolutely would be very mad. So this is actually some people's stories, and a lot of people, sometimes when I say some certain things, some people think I am over saying it, or I am over talking it. People actually say that I am betting, or I am that I am a rate to the cis. I am asking, how am I a rate to the cis? How am I? That I am seeing videos people are connecting to, videos people can relate to, because For people to make the videos, it is something that they can relate to. And you all can see from the videos, you all saw the man. He is married to a Black woman, right? So some stories are not actually made up. All these are experiences people have faced. And the brother, he is married to a Black woman. And he is saying that it is very frustrating for him to sit down and watch the wife go through all that. So, and all these are the things when Black people talk about it, they said that Black people have victim mentality. You can imagine somebody seeing you tell your story or talk about what you experienced and how, like, how you experience some certain thing or the things you go through, and you are being told that it is victim mentality. It is killing. Sometimes you don't take away from people's experiences, even when you cannot relate. The best you can do is to sympathize with the person if you want to, or if you do not want to, you can at the same time shut up and keep going, right? And for reparations, I keep saying it, for those that do not believe that there is need to fix, the things that they have done probably are part of the problems and all that. And for a lot of people who have said that white people are not privileged and it doesn't have to do with wealth. Yes, and that is absolutely correct. White people are privileged. It got nothing to do with the wealth. Just that your color alone has got you all covered up and the rest of it. Let me know what you all think in the comment section. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye for now.